Alright, welcome back. Just for the sake of completion, I'm just going to show the last couple of things we need to do. So I'm just going to delete the floor that I put up here. We know that the timber trusses will sit under the floor and the hebel will actually drop to the top of the brick here. So I need to find a way to do it. So if I zoom in, if I click my brick veneer, I've got this arrow here. Doing this, if I drag it up, it'll increase the wall height. Likewise with my hebel. Move that down, it will drop the wall. Now the issue is, I don't want the whole wall to drop down. The timber stud doesn't come with it. Just the hebel panel will come down and sit on top of the brick here. So I need to find a way to do that. So let's select the wall and let's go edit type. If yours looks like this, you need to click preview. You need to be able to see the section of the wall here. So what I need to do now is edit and modify. What this does is this allows me to modify the actual wall. So zoom in. This here is the hebel, the timber stud, and then the air gap in between where the hats sit for the hebel to get screwed through. So modifying this outer boundary here, I need to click this padlock. So when this shows yellow, I can click it. It might be a bit tricky to find. Sometimes we need to zoom right in. So there, where it highlights yellow, to unlock it. Alright, once it's unlocked, what it does is it unlocks this hebel layer from moving independently from the other two. Go OK, go OK again. Now what you can see is I can move this hebel panel here by itself. Now I need to go to my second floor. I take a section through the wall I've just done. Move it in because I don't want to see everything else. Right click, go to view. Change the detail level here to fine. There's the window, that's just come up there. Let's go back to hidden line. So the brick veneer, the whole thing moves up, whereas now I can move just the hebel down. Okay, is this recording? Yep. So that's what I want to do. I want to drop the hebel down. I want to leave the timber stud sitting up here. I've got to use some imagination now because we haven't got it in Revit at the moment. My truss is going to sit in here, placing all of the load bearing comes onto the timber studs. The studs is a load bearing component of the wall. No load goes onto the brick. The brick's very brittle, the hebel is even worse. And if we put any force on it, it's going to crack. So your truss will sit in here, sit on top of the stud and span across until it meets the other studs. Stud wall just sits on top of it, and then your flooring. Alright, so we need to do this for all of the external walls. Alright, so what I mean by that is all of the walls. I don't know why I've drawn that at an angle, that was not very good. So all of the walls, we need to do the same for the externals. So all of the external walls, we will have the same thing. The hebel will all drop to the ceiling level. So make sure you go around all of your external walls. You might have to take a few sections in here. And once you're done with them, quite simply just delete them. But you will need to go around all of your walls. May look a bit funny in here for now, but if I come to my 3D view, what you can see is this is what I'm dropping down. So there is a little difference here, and that's okay. Quite often you will see this on houses where the bottom floor will be the brick veneer, and the top floor will be Hebel. The reason for that is the Hebel is much lighter. It's a lightweight construction, whereas the brick is obviously a lot heavier. So the brick sits on the slab, then we span some trusses across and use some lighter weight material for the upper floor. You'll learn more of that in your structural analysis course, but that's a bit of a reason for why we're doing what we're doing right now. So same thing, dropping all of these down and deleting the sections. So you need to go around all of them. I will do mine off of the recording, but it's just the same thing for all components. Alright, so that's all I've done here, is just drop the roof down, the wall down. So that's how it will look. Alright, so we're starting to get there. Obviously there's other walls I haven't done yet, but I'll make sure they're done before Thursday. Now the next thing you're going to have to do is put some ceilings in as well. So to do your ceilings is pretty straightforward. Let's just delete this section. So all your ceiling is going to do is basically create a ceiling where you want it. So ceiling. Okay, you can pick which ceiling you want. I just go the plain one. Yeah, you can go through and use different gyprock or ceiling board or whatever you'd like. But for us, just take the compound ceiling. Revit will either automatically place it for you. So what you can see is the sections of walls, which is where is currently highlighting in orange. It will place the ceiling for me. So I can just click through. So if I want to do that, if I come through here and here and here, alright, spin through, I have a ceiling now sitting in there. Alright, issue is this is 100mm difference because I've set my ceiling height to 2600. But you'll be able to see that when we walk through the building after. Now I don't recommend doing the ceilings like that. I think it is better to do them as a sketch. So what I mean by that is I'll just undo all of that. Ceiling, sketch ceiling, and I would probably just pick the walls. It's going to be the easiest way to do it. Pick the walls where you want it to go, and again just follow around the building, kind of like we did before. Alright, for us it's not overly crucial. The ceiling will sit on the inside, so where I've placed on the outside here, I can bring them in. So obviously the ceiling is just going to sit on the inside of the building, not here for the porch. There. I missed anywhere. Alright, this one here, this outdoor area, we'll put a different ceiling there. So let's just come around from the inside for now. And you'll do more of this in your MEP building services drafting as well. Alright, so what that does is that puts a ceiling on the inside here. If I change the height to our ceiling level, now what I can see is, hey, my ceiling is actually at the level that I want it to be, all hidden away. What you can do is obviously the thickness here is a bit ridiculous. Doesn't need to be that much. You can play around with it. We're not going to go too far into it. Like I said, we're mainly going to focus on the structural side of things. Just to make you aware that you can put ceilings in. Alright. And what's next? Well, the next thing we need to do is we're going to annotate all of these. Alright, so when we annotate drawings, we will usually right click in the project browser, we duplicate the view. We duplicate it with the detailing, right click, rename. This is my floor, or my ground floor plan. Now usually in Revit, we put in capitals everything that we're going to place on the sheets. Alright, it helps us just to determine and remember what we're putting where. To annotate, very simple, annotate, we can go aligned. We can pick the wall faces, we just pick the outside of the walls just like we would if we were measuring. That's all we're doing, just like we did on CAD, and we just click and keep going. Start on the inside of the building and we work our way out. So there. Now these have a bit of clashing going on. Got a few options. I can either move the text as I see fit. Alright, so you can move them away. Alright, it depends. If you don't really like doing that, you can do one by one. So you don't have to do a bulk annotation like that. You can split them individually. So you might do this one here, this one here, this one here, and this one here. Okay, still a bit of clashing going on. If I don't like that, what I can do is I can try to reduce the height of my text. Alright, so edit type, duplicate, I might put this as 1.5 millimeters. And that would change my text height, really. If I can read, that would be good. Well, my reading's going really well. There it is, text size. 1.5, okay. Much smaller. So you'd have to put that on a sheet, have a size of what it looks like. The other thing is usually when we've got little areas like this, we might not annotate them on the outside. For our linens, we might actually leave minor text or very small text inside the floor plan. So we would reduce this to say 1 millimeter and hide it in here. So we'd go, width by height, and we'd hide them in there, just like you would have seen on the actual CAD floor plans that we've used. So you will need to go through and do your annotations in both directions for this house. So measuring on Revit is pretty straightforward. Probably one of the easier of the two to do. You just click and keep expanding. Alright, so you have to go both directions. Do all your measurements for both floor plans. You'll need to do it for the ground floor and the top floor, just like you did on CAD. The other good thing is you obviously have the CAD file to check the measurements here. Alright, obviously your external measurements will be a bit different, but you can still see what you're measuring. Alright, so you will need to go through and do that. Bottom floor and ground floor and your second floor or your upper floor, which is this one here. So same thing, duplicate view, duplicate with detailing, right click, rename, and this is going to be your upper floor plan. Okay, so you will need to do the measurements through here as well. So please make sure you do them. Tomorrow when I see you, we will go through our elevations, and then we'll go through putting things onto our sheets and how to go about that. Alright, please go through and follow these, but that's the gist of how to do two-story and a lot of the functions of Revit, which we will keep building on across the next 6 weeks or so. Alright, thanks guys.